Good day, students. In the previous video we have discussed about asexual reproduction and its types, but today we are going to discuss sexual reproduction. Now if you know asexual reproduction wherein only one individual is involved, one individual itself give rise to an individual, that is asexual, it is uniparental. Whereas sexual reproduction, as I already told you, it is biparental process or two individuals are involved over here. Okay, so let us learn in detail about this sexual reproduction. So when two individuals are involved and that will be giving rise to new individual, new organism, that is sexual reproduction. So let us see in detail. Very first thing comes over here is gamete formation. Now what is gamete? Everyone knows the gamete are the reproductive cells. Okay, in case of sexual reproduction they have spores. Okay, then budding is developed, buds are developed. These are all the modes of reproduction over there, whereas here the gametes has to be formed. Very important over here. Okay, now two individuals, for example there is male and there is female. Okay, male will produce, male organism will produce male gamete, female organism or female individual will produce female gamete. When these gametes are formed, okay, very important, when these gametes are formed, the gametes will be fusing. Okay, so very important, very first phase in sexual reproduction, very first step is gamete formation. Gamete has to be formed. Okay, now gamete has to be formed by same or different individual. I told you sexual reproduction is biparental process, different individual, but here I am mentioning about same. Now why I am mentioning about same? Because there is some exceptional cases. Okay, let me tell you some example. One example of hibiscus. Everyone knows hibiscus flower, right? In that hibiscus flower or that single plant has a hibiscus flower, if we take example. In that hibiscus flower there will be carpel or pistil and there will be stamen also. Carpel or pistil is female reproductive structure and the stamen is male reproductive structure. Now carpel or pistil will be producing ova and stamen will be producing pollen. So pollen is male gamete and ova is the female gamete. So within same flower the pistil will be giving female gamete, or within the same flower both the gametes are produced. So here by same or different individual, okay, are you getting the thing? Or by different individual of opposite sex, that means the very first important step of sexual reproduction is gamete formation. Gamete has to be formed. Okay, next, gamete fuses. Male gamete has formed, female gamete has formed. Now in order to reproduce, male gamete, female gamete has to undergo fusion. Okay, so fusion meaning they will be coming closer. Okay, so male gamete, for example I will tell you here. Okay, if we take example of the human, okay, human has got a sperm, okay, and that is the male gamete, and egg in case of the female. Okay, egg is, or egg you can say ova also, you can say that is a female gamete. So if I want to draw a rough diagram of this, okay, and egg will be somewhat like this. There will be nucleus here. So what will happen? The nuclei of the sperm and the egg will be, the nuclei of the egg will be fusing. Okay, so this nuclei will be fusing. So one nuclei of this, one nuclei of this, for example sperm nuclei and egg nuclei will be fusing. You will be getting another cell. Okay, see, male sperm, but which is a cell, female egg which is again in cell. Okay, they will be fusing, nuclei will be fusing, and you will be getting a thing. What will be forming over here is called as zygote. Very important thing. So gametes fuses and will produce zygote. One more thing I will tell you, gametes are always haploid. What is haploid? Haploid will be having n number of chromosomes. Do remember this thing. This everyone have learnt it. Still I am revising it. Gametes are haploid. Okay, sperm is haploid. Egg is also haploid. Now haploid, let me take some example. Around haploid meaning 23 number of chromosome. Over here also there will be 23 number of chromosomes. So 23 number of chromosome here, 23 number of chromosome here will be fusing, and the number will be here 46. So zygote n plus n. So n plus n is equal to 2n. So zygote is always diploid. This is haploid, this is diploid. Okay, so why I am telling you all this is actually the general thing you should know, but still I am telling you all gametes are haploid, gametes will be fusing and will be forming zygote. Okay, so the first thing is gamete has formed, second gametes will be fusing and will be production of zygote. So zygote has formed. Okay, so zygote formation has taken place and that zygote will be giving rise to new individual. Okay. Next thing comes over here, offsprings meaning young ones. Okay, offsprings are not identical to the parents. Obviously, see, in case of asexual reproduction, single individual was giving new organism. Okay, budding, for example, if we take the part of that individual itself has given new individual. Here what has happened, two individuals are involved, or either one individual, but two gametes are involved. Male gametes, see here, male gamete, female gametes are different. Okay, so different organism, different gametes have fused and has given to an offspring which will be obviously different, right? So the offsprings are not identical to their parents. So remember, in case of asexual they are identical, whereas in sexual they are not identical. Identical meaning they are not similar. Okay, now the next slide which will be telling you about similarities in pattern of sexual reproduction. Now there are different plants, animals, microorganisms. Okay, they will be reproducing sexually, so there should be some similarities in them, right? So let us discuss that similarities over here. The first one, the individuals. Okay, the flowers, if we take example of the plants, animals, they have particular phases of reproduction or particular phases of life cycle, I can say. Okay, the very first phase is juvenile phase. You must have heard this word juvenile. Juvenile is the phase, the phase wherein the individual will be taking or individual will be growing, maturing till the reproductive phase, meaning this is the phase wherein individual cannot reproduce. Juvenile phase, individual cannot reproduce. It is the only phase wherein the individual will grow, will mature. Okay, that phase is juvenile phase. Okay, if I want to tell you example of human females, I'll tell you. Okay, females can reproduce only when she is menstruating, we say. Okay, so till the menstruations, but before, okay, for example age 1 to age 12, normally we say females it is 12 years, right? So till age 12 she can the phase before that, okay, that phase is called as juvenile phase. And in case of plants, that phase is called as vegetative phase, meaning the plants before flowering. Okay, that is vegetative phase. So next phase will be after juvenile phase. Now the individual is able to reproduce, so that means that will be reproductive phase. In case of plants it will be flowering phase. Okay, and in case of some animals like horse and all, we say they are breeding phase, meaning they are reproducing only in particular season. Okay, they are breeding, we say, in particular season, so we say breeding phase. So more or less similar like reproductive and breeding. Okay, but remember sometimes in some animals it is also called as breeding phase. So reproductive phase in case of humans, or you can say some animals, flowering in case of plants, and some animals also it can be called, it is said as breeding phase. Last phase is senescent phase. Now why we say senescent? Senescent, it is actually the Latin or Greek word which means getting old. Okay, or the verge of death, we say, meaning after juvenile the individual will be reproducing. After reproducing, the individual will be going in a phase called as getting old phase, and after old the individual is going to die. So senescent phase. Okay, so moving to the death, that is senescent phase. The plant's leaves are falling, right? So dried leaves are falling, meaning the plant leaves have senescent, we say. The senescent leaves will be falling down. The same. So individuals have got some phases. Remember the age or the phase wherein individual cannot reproduce. Okay, that phase is juvenile phase. The individual can reproduce, that phase is reproductive phase, and the last one is senescent phase, that is going to the death phase. Okay, as I told you, this stage before one can reproduce, all these things I have told you. Okay, now in case of flowering phase, that is the reproductive phase in plants, we'll discuss some things over here. There are some plants which reproduce seasonally. Okay, you must be knowing plants reproduce seasonally. Mango, okay, we get the fruit only in particular season, right? So that is plants. There are some plants which can reproduce seasonally. Okay, there are some plants, they are called as annual plants. Okay, annual, biennial, very easy to remember. Annual meaning the life cycle itself is for 1 year. Okay, meaning they will be germinating, they will be blooming, and they will be dying within a year. So annual plants. Okay, marigold, if you want to ask me an example over here, marigold. Okay, they will be germinating, they will be blooming, and they will be dying. In case of biennial, it will be for 2 years. The life cycle is for bi meaning 2, so life cycle is for 2 years. Annual 1 year, biennial 2 year. So in this particular plants, proper vegetative phase, meaning when they will be producing, when they will be growing. Okay, typical reproductive phase, meaning they will be flowering, they will be producing the seeds, and finally the senescent. All three phases can be clearly seen in annual and biennial plants. Okay, there are some special cases. You will be amazed to listen this. Okay, for example, there are some bamboo species. Okay, this bamboo species are reproducing, or they are flowering once in their lifetime, meaning once they had flowered, they dies immediately, which is a special case. Remember this thing, bamboo species flowers only once in their lifetime. We say the average year, we say 50 to 100 years. Okay, once they flower, they die immediately. Next special case is I'll tell you example, show you the picture here. See this particular flowers, okay, these plants are called as Neelakuranji. It is called as Neelakuranji. The scientific name of this is Strobilanthes kunthiana. Okay, Strobilanthes kunthiana. This particular flower, okay, Strobilanthes kunthiana Neelakuranji, is flowering once in 12 years. Okay, and the census report is telling that this particular flower, okay, in the textbook itself this example is given. This particular plants have flowered in around September, October 2006. Okay, now where we see such type of plants is typically in the hilly areas. Okay, like hilly areas in Karnataka, then Kerala, Tamil Nadu. The hilly stretch, the entire stretch itself is blooming, entire stretch itself is looking beautifully purple colored, blue colored flowers. Okay, Strobilanthes, they are flowering once in 12 years. So 2006 they must have flowered in 2018 and okay, last 18. So let's see now the next 12 years. Okay, you can count the years, and that time you can actually go and visit this particular place to see the Strobilanthes kunthiana. Okay, now moving to seasonal. This is about the plants. Plants are annual, plants are biennial. Okay, there are some special cases wherein they are breeding once in their lifetime. Then next case I told you is about Strobilanthes kunthiana flowering once in 12 years. Okay, next I'll tell you all seasonal breeders. As I was telling you over there are some animals, okay, there are some birds also which are breeding seasonally, in particular season only when the climatic conditions are favorable. For example, I'll tell you migratory birds. Okay, in winter, especially in the other countries, the temperature goes to minus, and wherein they cannot survive, they cannot cope up with that temperature. They migrate to India, they migrate to other tropical areas wherein they breed. Okay, so that is particular season for them to breed. So seasonal breeders. Okay, even if I want to tell you example, some horse, goat, okay, donkey, all these are seasonal breeders. There are continuous breeders also. Now what is continuous breeder? Meaning, example, if I want to tell you about the humans also, meaning once the humans are under reproductive phase, till the reproductive phase the individual will be reproducing, right? So that is, they will be continuously breeding. Okay, that is continuous breeder. Example, cattle, mice, rabbit. Okay, continuous breeder. Now you must be wondering about poultry birds. Are they continuous breeder? Now poultry birds are laying eggs every time, every day they are laying the eggs. Now why they are laying the eggs? Especially if we take about poultry hens. Okay, we inject them, or we are giving them hormonal treatment. That's why they lay eggs. Now you must be thinking, what about our domestic fowl or domestic hens? They are not laying eggs, they are also laying eggs, but the eggs are always not fertilized. Okay, we humans, the female also releases eggs per cycle, right, per month. Like that the females, okay, hens, okay, they also lays the eggs. Okay, and that they will be laying the egg directly. If the female is fertilized, then that egg will hatch into a new individual. Otherwise that eggs are not hatching into individual though they incubate them. Okay. Now some examples of mammals. Everyone knows mammals, they possess mammary gland and all. Okay, there are two categories of mammals. There are some non-primates and there are some primates. Now non-primates and primates, basically the difference lies in the structure of brain, the brain capacity. We say this particular non-primates don't have that brain capacity much as the primates, meaning primates will be we human beings. Okay, monkeys, then chimpanzee, all these apes are primates. Okay, and non-primates will be the cow, all this example. Okay, a tiger, horse, we say dog, and all we say cat, which are showing they are non-primates and we are primates. So the another difference about non-primates and primates, non-primates show estrous cycle and primates show menstrual cycle. As I told you, human beings are the example of the primates, so we show menstrual cycle. The females are showing menstrual cycle. So especially during the reproductive phase, the cyclical changes which are taking place is estrous cycle in case of non-primates, and primates it is menstrual cycle. Now you must be wondering, is the same menstrual phase or menstrual cycle what we see in the humans are showing over here? No. Menstrual cycle in case of humans, we know that there is particular phase called as menstrual phase, wherein the females are bleeding. Okay, the blood comes out through uterus, we say. Whereas in non-primates like dogs, they do not show that bleeding thing. Okay, the body temperature itself increases. That time we say the particular individual is under estrous phase. Okay, the body temperature changes, especially the body temperature increases during this phase. And during this phase, estrous phase, the females are accepting or the females are receiving the males for copulation. Whereas in menstrual phase, the females are not receiving the males for copulation. This is one more difference. Remember this thing. During estrous cycle, they receive the male for copulation. Females receive the male for copulation, and during the menstrual phase, females are not at all receiving the males for copulation. Okay, that's it for today. Next video, I will tell you more in detail about sexual reproduction. Thank you, everyone.